What's up guys, I'm here today at Fit Hit in New York City and we're gonna be taking one of their classes. Unfortunately, we can't really film the class inside, so I'm gonna try to get as much of the outside stuff as possible. All right, let's go inside, come on, come on.
Fit Hit is one of the most unique fitness studios that I've ever been to. Walking in, I was greeted by a friendly front desk and an open area where they're planning to put a juice bar in. There's a merch store in the front and a few training rooms in the back. To get to where the action really is, you have to walk down a set of stairs, which kind of looks sketchy at first, but the signage and wall decals let you know that you're going in the right direction. As far as the actual class goes, it was a heart-pumping, high-intensity workout with functional Krav Maga self-defense training as its core exercises. I learned how to break grips and perform fundamental punches and kicks that I've never been coached through professionally before. There was also a group exercise that pitted people in the class against one another, more in like a fun and engaging way to train and challenge each other than something super intense. And all of this was taught by not one, but two great instructors. Tatiana and Felix really knew their stuff, and they created a very welcoming and open atmosphere while maintaining a high energy and educational class.
First thing I want to do is something called the pluck and strike. I don't want to be choked anymore, so I pluck the wrist that's choking me, I strike with the other one simultaneously.
But the best part, it was all incredibly entertaining. I mean, you spend a good amount of time punching this guy in the face. And not only was that really fun, but it was also super stress relieving. I felt the stress from the existential crisis of my life fade away with every punch. I would come back again just for that.
Fun fact, they have actually the biggest square footage out of any boutique fitness studio in New York City, 9,000 square feet. It's kind of like daunting when you first walk in because there's just like a bunch of dudes just hanging and it's like all over the space, but it's actually really, really cool within the class, especially when you're just like, makes me really want to get one of these dummy guys. You a subscriber? Let's go, you a subscriber. Thank you, you a subscriber? Yes, you are, let's go. You a no? You not a subscriber? Subscribe! All right, maybe that was too much, I'm sorry. Can you please subscribe?
From a branding perspective, they do a few things very well. First, they're a purpose-driven brand pushing the needle towards a safer world for women. Their mission is to give women the tools and confidence to defend themselves in dangerous situations. Statistically, women suffer disproportionate rates of violence, especially in major cities in the United States. Fit Hit teaches practical self-defense techniques, increases awareness of potentially dangerous situations and how to deal with them, and confidence, all while getting a great endurance workout. Secondly, they're very specific about who they're trying to serve. It's a demographic that traditionally would not have entered this type of fitness studio. But their unique class has made this type of training more accessible by making it less intimidating and packaging it into a really fun class. There's also a deep sense of connection by working on the skills to overcome such a universal fear and danger that women all over the US feel.
Every one of us at some point has felt helpless or in a position that was uncomfortable. And even if it's something as small as someone near you making you uncomfortable before it even turns violent, that's enough to come here and start training.
Right.
It's something that while I truly can't feel and experience for myself, I can appreciate how valuable this must be for the women in attendance. Overall, it was an incredible experience that I think can truly do a lot of good for a lot of people. However, I do feel that the visual identity and the brand messaging doesn't really do the experience justice.
What do you mean?
The messaging is a bit generic, which definitely does not reflect the uniqueness of the brand. And there were a lot of missed opportunities on the visual front to tie the experience back into some of the values of the brand. And some questionable choices were made for graphic style and typography. It was repetitive, in some ways very good, like translating their color scheme and their logo to various merchandise and accessories, but in other ways, not so much. The wall decals felt a bit out of place, without accuracy or intent, something unlike the experience of the class. It's repetitive, but more like a stamp instead of a working graphic system that ties a space together based on the underlying architecture. It also somewhat felt like a sci-fi starship decal, especially with the typography pairing. And that just didn't feel like it quite aligns with their underlying values and the people they're serving. Although I do love the colors, and I think the designer might have had some type of inspiration from Kill Bill, which is pretty cool. But fundamentally, this is something I'm seeing a lot in the fitness industry as I've gotten more familiar with it. And I understand. It's not easy to come up with brand messaging that aligns to the purpose, mission, and value proposition while also expressing some type of motivational and creative essence that's also unique and not being used by other gyms. That being said, if there were creative messaging that only specific studios could utilize, a studio like FitHit would be a prime candidate. And that's because they have an underlying foundation to the brand experience that's extremely focused and unique.
In fact, there is nothing like us. We're in a complete blue ocean of what we offer.
And if they were able to bring out that story and creatively communicate it both verbally and visually to reflect the uniqueness of the experience, their mission, and the value offering, it would definitely be a knockout brand. Nonetheless, being a purpose-driven brand that's doing a lot of good in the world is already more than half the equation. So I'm really excited to see where FitHit goes. And I really hope they open a location in Chicago because my workout routine is getting a bit repetitive and I know I could definitely use some stress relief. Also, I want to give a shout out to Paige. Thank you so much for letting me come to the space and experiencing the classes and seeing what FitHit was about and overall just being really cool about everything. Thanks to Matan at FitHit as well. I'm sure he had something to do with letting me come through. Gave the ultimate stamp of approval, I'm guessing. And thank you for none of you kicking my ass while I'm there. To cut that out. Bad joke. They weren't threatening in any way. And by the way, people, this is not like a sponsored video or anything. This is genuinely my real thoughts on FitHit and the whole experience. I've been asked if I'm doing these gym tours and they're like sponsored ads for these gyms. No, this is like me going out there, actually experiencing these gyms and then talking about them. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like, the subscribe, hit the bell button. It would really help let me know if I'm doing a good job. And yeah, that's it. I'm Kai with FitKit Studio. Till next time.
What's up, guys? I'm in New York right now. And today we are reviewing Planet Fitness.